This video tutorial will show how to set up a Spark Fast Library Quant run without a template. Quantabio offers two template files that load information about the cycling conditions, analysis parameters, and positions of the Spark DNA standards into the Q software. These templates should be utilized by most customers. Some customers, however, may want more flexibility with sample positions, the number of replicate standards, or other aspects of a Spark Fast Library Quant run. This video will show how and where information can be entered or modified in the Q qPCR software. The first part will show how to create an assay file, which will then be loaded into a custom run file. After opening the Q software, choose New and then Assay. This will bring up the Assay Setup menu on the side of the screen. Choose Information. Type in a descriptive name for the assay. In the example shown here, we use Spark Fast Quant as the assay name. For the Spark Fast Library Quant kit, the chemistry should be set to intercalating dye and the dye color set to cyber green. Entry in the other fields is optional. Such information may be helpful for record keeping, but not necessary to save the assay and allow the run to proceed. Choosing Profile brings up the run profile settings. Any of the parameters can be modified here. Here we show how to enter the recommended settings for the Spark Fast Library Quant kit. The first panel is for the hot start polymerase activation step. The temperature can be kept at 95 degrees and the time can be changed to 2 minutes by either typing it in or using the control box arrows. We recommend running 35 cycles for this kit. Denature at 95 degrees for 5 seconds works well. The annealing extension should be adjusted to 65 degrees for 25 seconds. The recommended protocol is 2-step cycling, so remove the 72-degree step by clicking the X. The camera icon should be visible in the second step, indicating that data will be acquired after the annealing and extension. Only the green channel should be chosen for the acquisition. The melt step is optional, but may provide helpful information if sample troubleshooting is required. The reaction volume is set in the control box in the upper right corner. In the example, we choose 10 microliter volume. The temperature control settings should be left unchanged as FastTAC V3. Next, click on the plus sign next to Analysis to review or modify any analysis settings. This brings up a menu of the different analysis modules available in the Q qPCR software. The modules of interest in this tutorial are cycling, melt, and absolute quantification. Choose one and then click on the assay name that was entered earlier. It should be noted that the recommended analysis settings are preloaded based on the chemistry chosen in the earlier setup step, which was intercalating dye chemistry. In general, we recommend keeping all parameters as the defaults shown. For maximum flexibility, however, any of the settings can be modified by the user. Details about each setting can be found in the Q qPCR user manual, accessed by clicking the Help icon at the top of the screen. Once all parameters are set, save the assay with a descriptive name, Spark Fast Quant Assay Custom in this example. To set up the custom run, choose New and then Run. The first thing to do is load the assay that was just created. Click the plus sign and choose the assay from the list. Then click on Run Profile. It's good practice to review that the settings are correct. Clicking on Samples opens the sample editor where information about the standards and library samples is entered. Since this is a tutorial for a custom run, we will place the 6 Spark DNA standards in different positions from what they are in the pre-configured template files. Notice that occasionally messages may appear above the sample editor. Because the assay included in this run calls for absolute quantification, the message generated is that such analysis requires at least 2 standards with different concentrations. There are a few shortcuts that can be used for sample entry. For instance, once a sample name is entered in one row, the fill down icon at the top of the screen can be used for copying the sample name to subsequent rows. When adding the Spark DNA standards, the type should be changed from unknown to standard. Notice that this prompts another message that standards need a concentration defined. The standard concentration column contains a pull-down menu with multiple choices for the concentration units. For the Spark Fast Library Quant kit, we use picomolar as a reported concentration. This is not one of the options in the pull-down menu, but can be typed in manually. Then, the concentration should be entered for each standard using the values indicated on the vials or in the instruction manual. Spark DNA Standard 1 is the highest concentration at 20 picomolar, and Spark DNA Standard 6 is the lowest concentration at 0.0002 picomolar. Another trick to speed up sample entry is to use the autofill function. If a few sample names are entered in rows, with appropriate spacings between, the software can recognize the naming trend and fill in the rest. The same can be done for populating the concentration values. This saves a little manual typing or copying and pasting. Confirm that all the Spark DNA standards are assigned as type standard. Another feature of the software is that row identifiers can be toggled between numeric and alphanumeric using the icons at the top of the panel. The diluted library samples that will be included in the run can be entered in the same manner as the Spark DNA standards, except the type is assigned as unknown. If no template controls are included in the run, enter those as well and assign the type as NTC. Once all settings and samples are entered, click the Save icon to save the custom run file. In this example, we name the run file MySparkFastQuant Run 1. Any Q instrument recognized by the computer and currently not in use will show at the top right of the screen. Load the samples in the Q rotor, set the tube clamp in place, and shut the lid. Click on the Q instrument icon and choose Start Run. Then click on the Start button in the pop-up window. The run will complete in 40 minutes or less.